Hey, how's it going, people? Right, tonight or today or right now, I'm going to show you a few mods if you're just thinking about getting into vaping. Right, it can be a bit confusing when you're getting into vaping, but it's all about stopping smoking. Okay, now this is just a vape, 22 pen from Smock. See it? It's quite small. I've just got a chunky glass on it, different. It just comes with a plain white glass normally, something like this. See that? It's just like a plain glass. That's what usually comes with it. Right? They're about, I found them on eBay for cheap, £10 or something like that. And you get a couple of coils in with it, a few spares and that you get with it. But it's quite easy. You just unscrew the top, put your coil in, screw. In fact, it comes already set up to go. You just put your juice in. But to change it, you take your top off, screw it off, take the coil out, unscrew it. Obviously there's going to be a bit of fluid in there, so you get some tissue, clean it up, put it back together and fill it up. Some of these devices you have to unscrew the top to fill it up. Some of them, like the later ones, you just unscrew the mouthpiece, or drip tip as they call it, and you fill it up in there like that, them little cracks. Kidney shaped filling holes they're called. Cracks or filler holes, whatever you want to call them. But check it out for usage. Now this is how, when I got this, I used it like this. But it wasn't long before I'd seen a few videos and thought, oh, I'm going to get a bigger one. But to be honest with you, these little fellas here, they don't last more than a few hours, say half a day. You can use it sort of, sparingly for the day. They do last for a day if you use them sparingly like this, like. Just like a cigarette. I think this one's getting a bit low on juice, but you can use them like this. Real big cloud. Yeah, it's getting a bit low on juice, that. So we're going to move on to another one, right? They're not bad for the money, really. So we're going to move on to its big brother, right? It's exactly the same company, Smock. There's the little one I was just using, and here's the same coil, which is the thing that burns your fluid. The same coil, just a bigger tank, but you can make a bigger tank with one of these, get a glass for it. This one's got a bigger tank on it anyway, and a bigger battery. See how you can see it's much bigger, the battery? This is like 18650. I'm not sure about, I think it's around that sort of power, and this is 3000 milliamp. So let's just turn this one on. 5 presses of the button on and 5 presses of the button off. Right, 5 for on, 5 for off. Okay, right, put this little fella back down. But you can see that was quite good vapor from that. If you want to just get a small one like that. These are much better. They last longer, the battery wise, and I think they give a bigger vapor. See what you think? It's exactly the same setup, but just everything's a bit bigger, you know. Longer battery life. That's the 22 pen plus from Smock. Okay, I have got other stuff, but I predominantly use this Smock gear. I'll just check the vapor out again from it. You can use it just like a cigarette watch. Yeah. It's how good it is and quiet and quality. Now I like to switch from these to these. It's a lot longer, a lot bigger, look, see? It's just the design of it, okay? Most of them, they have a chip inside that regulates the power to the tank that you put on it. It analyses the coil in it. So when you put a battery in, the battery does everything automatically. Turn the power on. 5 on, 5 off. Look. See that? 5 back on. I like to use these because you can put any tank on them, anything you want. The other two, they have a fixed tank on them. You can put a tank on this, and you can change the battery. Look, you can change the battery. Pink is in, man. Right? You can change the battery when it gets low, instead of having to charge the unit and wait for it to charge 3 or 4 hours. You can just change the battery and put your battery on charge. But check the vapor out from this. I like this. It's got the name of this tank's a Mini Mellow 3 tank, and coils are only like £6 for 5, which is very reasonable. And it doesn't charge though, like the other two I showed you. The other two, the built-in batteries, you can charge them, you know, in the wall. But these, you have to have a battery charger and a couple of batteries, you know. But just check the quality out of this. Now that is not too shabby. These are like my everyday smoke, one of these. And I'll show you why. Watch this. Good as any sort of big mod. They're just, you know, you can use them like that. Which I often do, just like a cigarette. But I do like to do this. Which, if you want a, you know, a big hit off it, it's well equipped to do it. Don't get me wrong, look, I showed you this one a minute ago, didn't I? The Smock 22 pen plus. You can do the same with this watch. My personal choice for a stick is one of these. I've got V8 sticks, but let me show you this little fella again. The little 22 pen watch. It'll do like quite a big puff if you want one, or you know, draw, smoke, whatever you want to call it. But I do like these. I've got 2 of them, just different flavours, you know, in the tanks. Just 2 with different flavours. You want to change your flavour. and I often do, just like for an hour or two, change them round. Right. I think that's butterscotch, and this one's caramel. Yeah, butterscotch. Butterscotch. Right. You can also pick the nicotine strength, but I strongly advise you to go for like 6 or 3 even. I went quite high when I started, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't like it very much, and I just dropped the nicotine down to 6, and I began to feel more comfortable smoking one of these regularly, you know. So eventually I dropped down to 3. I do mix it myself, and sometimes I think it's like 2 to 4, but now I find 6 is a bit, it's alright, but it's a bit stronger than, which is a good thing, because if you think it's a bit stronger after using it, that's a good thing, because you want to cut down on that. I mean, I don't think I'm going to stop vaping, but I'm definitely happy with the level of 3 to 6 on the nicotine, you know. Sometimes I'm quite happy not to put nicotine in, you know. Now this one's called the little e-leaf pickle square. The battery goes in there, you screw it off, battery goes inside, and you turn it on with five presses of the button. This is the tank it comes with. Most tanks are the same, they just screw apart and you screw a new coil in to change them, but this one is a complete kit, you know, it comes as a complete kit, this one. Interchangeable battery, just a square one instead of a long one like that, you know. All around £15 on eBay, but check the vapor out on it. They're all pretty much the same, but you can still smoke them like that, you know, just like a cigarette. You don't have to do this. But as you can see, they're all quite good at doing that. I'm more into lower wattage, okay? Now this is the same as that e-leaf pickle, but it's got a different tank on it. See the tank? It's the same tank as on this stick, just a different colour, exactly the same. Right, and you can pick and mix and match. If you've got other bits of kit, you can mix them together, and you've got to find the sweet spot on the you know, the setup. 50 watts might be too high, 30 watts is too low. I think this one's good on 35 watts. See the vapor on it? It's all about the power that you like and the coil strength that you like, you know. I mean, I've got there, oh, we like that one, banana yogurt. They're all different flavours, okay. I've got here what they call a mech mod. See that? It's a mech mod. The battery goes in the bottom, very similar to this pipe stick setup. See that? The battery goes in the bottom. Only difference is that the it's a what you call a dripper and not a tank. See, that's a tank with fluid in it, right? Well, this one's what they call a dripper, an RDA. You drip juice into the top, and it's got 2 coils inside which I put in, but these are, well, they're really, I'll show you. These are like another level, you know. Definitely when you're getting into the hobby side of it, you know, when you want to be into vaping big time, or you know, you want to make more of a hobby of it. But just check the vapor production out on this. Watch. See that? You press the button there, look, see? See how big that is? Quite big. And that's what you call what's called a mech mod, in mechanical. There's no circuitry in it. Only where you make the connection with the battery. That's the only circuit in one of those. But I do like a bigger capacity tank like this. See that? Just because you can get more juice in it and you don't fill it up on it. It's on a dual battery mod, a bigger sort of 2 batteries in it instead of 1. Longer battery life. Lasts the best part of the day. And check the vapor out. Much more concentrated, easier to do it. But like I said, it's all about choice, what you want to choose, you know, to buy. Don't let someone in the shop tell you you want something like this when something like this is acceptable. Because like I said, watch. In fact, I won't use that one. I've got another one here, look. Just this one's a rainbow one, same as the black one, but it's just a lot more juice in it. But I can show you more what these are capable of. Watch. They're quite capable, but they'll only last a few hours, you know, and then you've got to charge them. This is why I bought 2. I bought 2, I charged them both up and take them out with me if I go out somewhere. But these are more or less my favourite, you know, just a dual battery mod. Just for capacity, battery life and a bigger tank. That's another tank from Smock, it's the V8 Baby Big Beast. Now I'm going to show you something as well. I've got another, that's a V8 Baby, the standard one, the smallest one, the first one in the class, the V8 Baby. V8 Baby Beast, but that's the V8 Baby Big Beast, the last one. But check this out. See, they're all pretty good. They're all pretty good, but you can just do it like this. So you don't really have to do this. You don't have to do that. You might want to do it after you start it and start vaping as a vapor. But as I said, just have a winter is coming. Start. But as I said, my everyday smoke is one of these interchangeable battery. Check this out. They're pretty good, and I take one out with me on its own with a spare battery, but they're pretty good for what they are. That's the name of that is an Aspire. Okay, and that's a Mini Mellow 3 tank if you're thinking of looking it up on eBay, and you'll get the tank for £6 with a coil and the mod for £9 or £10, but you need some batteries and a charger. Right, well, hope you've enjoyed my little education on smaller mods, and but I do like smock mods, I have got quite a few different mods, but I tend to talk about smock ones because I stick with smock ones. Now just before I go, I'll show you this one. Now this is the Prince, the V12 Prince, and it's on 65 watts. It's 120 or 40 the coil, but it starts at 60 is its lowest power, so I always give it 5 watts more or 10 watts sometimes. But check this out, because this is the top of the range smock one, this tank. See that? Good, isn't it? Good, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see how it lights up. Good, isn't it? But that's the top of the range one. Right. I hope you found this video educational. You don't really need a real big one, like I said, because if you look at this little one again before you go, this is the one we started with, the smallest one, the Smock 22 pen. Check this out now. I'm going to use it like I'm well, I am quite a old school smoker, toker, vapor, whatever you want to call it. See that? Good enough when you're starting out. Smock 22 pen or the 17 pen, anything around 30-40 watts, it's adequate. Right, catch you later. Hope you enjoyed this little info update about smaller and bigger devices and different tanks. I'm on the Aspire, Mellow mods, things like that. E-Leaf, I've covered basically not all I've got, but just a few general ones, and I think those ones are quite good quality ones on the market. I have got other ones, like I said. I do rate them, but I do think the ones that I've showed you are the better ones out of the mods available. I was going to show you this one, this little rouleau. See this little rouleau? It's a little chunky mod. They're not that cheap. Built-in battery, but they perform like a trooper. It's really ergonomic. Look, fits in your hand. This is a sinuous. Yeah, no, it's a lovely looking little mod. In your bag, lovely. But check the power out of it. goes up to 80 watts and it kicks ass. That's a sinuous rouleau. Wise mech. Right, catch you later. Hope you like it. Have a good one. Bye.